question.
What's up, bro?
All right. So on the very first day of your journey, on your journey on, becoming better, on wanting more for yourself. The very first day, if you could think back, it could be whatever day. It could be the first day that we worked out. You know what I mean? Like it's the first time. The first time you actually committed to the gym as much as you do. My question is, how did it feel for you back then? Can you remember exactly how it feels? Does it still feel the same way when you go into the gym now, or exactly how you feel about it right now? Or did it change some aspect or some perspective of, different types of scenarios or different types of things? Or maybe your mindset towards somebody that works out as frequently as they do. You know what I mean? Does it open up your mind? Like, did before you think people that would work out that many times or fucking gym rats that have nothing better to do, or you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your input on that?
First and foremost, I appreciate you asking that question. I talk to a lot of people, bro. Not a lot of people, but the people that I'm around and that I get to speak to, they be asking, like, oh, how's the gym going? And I tell them, I'm like, oh, it's going good, Kind of tell them usually what you tell them. But for the people that listen, I go, I'm doing great. I'm actually, I love to be there. It's more of like it's like I have to be there, but it's not like, oh, I'm pushing myself to get there. Like, I want to be there and I have to be there. Not because I'm forcing myself to, but because that's a part of my life. You feel me? And now, before I started feeling like this, I tell everybody on my very first fucking day, bro. My very first day. I'm not sure if I told you this story, but I showed up, went to the bathroom. I usually go to the bathroom. You already know. Go to the bathroom, have this routine. Boom, starts to go out. And I'm looking around at the weights, and I'm like, fuck, man. I get a little self-conscious, almost like where my confidence is lacking in myself. I'm like looking around. I see everybody else doing their thing. And I'm like finding a spot for me to fit in. And so I ended up just going on the treadmill. And I ran on that bitch for like 20 minutes, 10, 20 minutes. I don't know. Maybe 30 max.
So when you went out there, right, and you looked around and you felt like, you know, out of place, let's say, um, why did you feel the need to fit in? Like, why was that your
I hear you,
go-to?
bro.
And I know maybe at that moment you weren't thinking about it, but like right now, looking back, you know, answer this for yourself. Like, why, you know what I mean? What was the main root of why you felt the way that you did? And, does it have underlying, circumstances comes from, your body? Or it's not so much your body, but it's just, I don't know, your mentality at that time?
This happened. Well, I started going like maybe end of April,
Hmm.
just about. So, what are we in? June, July, August. Like, pretty much almost 4 months, man. It seems longer though, right?
Yeah, it feels
I
longer.
feel like
Yeah.
I've been going longer though. Because I know it has to be like 4 months at least. But, anyways, at that time, bro, I'm at a completely different state of mentality now than even just 4 months ago. You know what I'm saying? So, like 4 months ago, when I first went to the gym, I felt like I needed to like I was out of place. Like I didn't have a routine. I felt like the one of the weakest motherfuckers there, and I just didn't want to go and start pushing some weight because I was afraid of like me not stepping up to even my own expectations. But then that's when, so like I was saying, bro, 20 minutes on the treadmill max, and then I went home. All right. And then the next day, I actually worked out with you. And so me and you got it, bro. And after that day, bro, I had so much more confidence in myself. And just, not just confidence, but not giving a fuck, Like why do I care about what these people might think of me, they're probably not even thinking of me.
Right.
Everybody's probably thinking of themselves, right? Like, oh fuck, because that's how it usually is. When you're at the gym, bro, it's like you're raw, you're vulnerable, you know? You're
Mm-hmm.
pushing yourself, and you might feel uncomfortable with how people look at you, or if you're right in the face and you look like you're shitting yourself and you're pushing that weight up, and you're afraid that fool's gonna look at you and be like, oh, look at this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the different mentality that I had back then, man, just 4 months ago. So it's crazy. But yeah, man, I hope that answers your
Thank you.
question.
No, yeah, it does. It
Yeah,
does.
because I'm telling you, dude, that after that second day, like it was like a snowball after that.
Mm.
Downhill, just fucking gaining momentum. And now, bro, I show up, I feel like I have a plan, you know? I'm like, all right, it's legs. I gotta hit this shit. I ain't trying to wake up tomorrow and not be sore. Like, I want to be limping. You feel me?
Right.
Like, I go in there with that mentality, like I'm trying to break myself down so that when I wake up, I'm better, bro.
Yeah. And that's pretty much exactly what you're doing, whenever
Mountain is you, feel me? The
yeah,
mountain is you.
the mountain is you. Yeah, bro. No, yeah, no, I'm really grateful to hear that, bro. Like that's something that, not a lot of people could really say. Just, the fact that you worked on yourself, your mentality, cuz throughout the course, I know this for a fact, throughout the course of you physically working out, you was also, reading books, right? How would you say, you know, the discipline that you had to, obtain in order to go to the gym, as much as you did, and you still do? How would you say that affected you outside of the gym? Not so much mentality wise, but with your day to day life.
At first, it wasn't much different, I was just pretty much trying to work the gym into my life and make it a part of me, so like it's another thing that I had to like really focus on at first. I feel like at that time, man, I didn't if I was doing too much, I'd feel overwhelmed,
Mhm.
like I got my family, I got shit going on,
Mhm.
I'm trying to grind. But it was definitely like a corner, like a foundation,
Mhm.
I start there, and once I started there, and then you started like recommending books to me
Mhm.
and sending me books, bro, like that. And at that point, the mentality started to shift more,
Mhm.
into place where like now I'm having different types of disciplines.
Mhm.
So like I got, my workouts. Now I got books that I actually want to read. I don't want to just like not
Yeah.
like not just waste my time reading something that I don't want to read.
Right.
Like I wanted to read them, and that made the difference. The things started sticking out to me. I love listening to Jim Rohn, as you know. Jim Rohn to me, I won't get off of him. It's not to say I won't listen to other people, but I really like to listen to his stuff even over and over just to grasp his mindset and then just hop on to the next one and just feel like I'm learning
Yeah.
from different people. You know what I'm saying?
And this is what I wanted to tell you because I knew you was gonna speak about that eventually. And we spoke about this in some other time about you, becoming a life mastery uh, coach or a motivational speaker, whatever you want to call it. Jim Rohn is your mentor. You feel me? It was never me. You know what I'm saying? I was just the foundation that was needed to be there in order for you to find what you needed to find. You said it yourself, you won't get off of him. There has to be a reason for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a reason for that. That's just something, you know what I mean? He's just not something that just stuck, you know what I mean? He didn't just get stuck in your head, and wanting to listen to him more for no reason. There's a message that the universe is trying to tell you. And yeah, man, the only way to find out is for you to keep doing that, you know? You have your own
Well,
path.
hey, what really helped, bro, was that he's pretty relatable, you know? Like he always tells this story where he's like 24, 25, 26, like in that range.
Oh yeah, the age.
You know,
Yeah, bro.
he's like
Big
25,
relatable.
met his mentor at that age, and it changed his life from that point forward. And to think that I'm around his age and that I met somebody
Yeah.
that kind of mentored me,
You know what I'm
and
saying? Yeah, bro.
I'm not gonna let you say that you didn't mentor me, bro, because you did, bro.
We out here,
Like
bro.
the the types of conversations that, and it was mostly you having the conversation, but the
True. I
type of
like to
talk that
talk.
we have,
I like to talk. That's true.
yeah, the
But
type of
no.
talks that you poured into me, bro, and like I just sit there and listen. That's the type of things that just kept chipping away, you know? Even if it didn't stick in the moment, sometimes in a certain situation, I'm like, oh fuck, I remember Leo was talking to me about this, you know? So like, yeah, bro, definitely you, and then obviously Jim Rohn, and
Yeah, bro.
we
And,
go
and
off
and
with
guess
that.
what? You're gonna find many more. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yes, bro,
Russ is our
Napoleon
mentor if
Hill,
you think
bro,
about it.
Napoleon Hill. They said that he studied 500 of the most successful people
Yeah.
on the planet. You know what I'm saying? That's how like focused and just into what he was doing, and
Relentless, bro.
that's
Relentless.
the type of mentality that I have to have, that I want to have, you know, like similar, just studying people that I can learn from anything,
Yeah, bro.
and even if I already know something, just to hear it again.
Another perspective too, honestly. Even if you already know something, there's always another perspective to everything, you know? And I feel like that's what makes humans in general like different. You know what I mean? Because I could look at something and I could like it. You can look at something and it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It just all depends about on perspective. You know, who's to say that yours is not your opinion or your perspective is not as important as mine? You know, the kicker is everyone's perspective is important to them. You know, so.